Hello, it is 10 o'clock, April 5th. Welcome to the weather update. And what word now that 8 tornadoes actually wound up touching down in New Jersey on April 1st. That's right, 8. So let's talk about that first. You know, I think because there's the latest update now. A full summary has been added for the Mays Landing tornado, which we'll read. So this includes 8 tornadoes in the state of New Jersey. So let's go look at the Mays Landing tornado here. It's just going to be somewhere in here. I'll find it here. Where is it? I don't know if is that the first one? I gotta find it here. That's the Jackson. That's the Jackson Howell. That's Seagirt. Where they say the summary is included. I don't see it. Oh, here's the Mays Landing tornado. So it was an EF1 on the ground for nearly a mile. 110 yards wide. Tornado formed along the line of thunderstorms and made an initial touchdown just east of Lelwyn Avenue and south of U.S. Highway 40 in the Richland section of Buena Vista Township. This was a heavily forested area with large branches snapped. The tornado continued east, moving parallel to Landis Avenue and into Mays Landing. As it moved into Mays Landing, the tornado produced its strongest wind damage, where the roof was partially lifted off a single-family home. Numerous trees on the property had large branches broken, with an area of uprooted trees just to the east of the home. The tornado continued to progress eastward across Landis Avenue, with large amounts of uprooted trees, snapped trunks, and broken branches. Damage remained mainly confined to the north side of the road. The tornado then crossed Estelle Avenue, where broken branches and snapped trunks continued for another 200 yards into a densely forested area, and Mays Landing happens to be in the Pine Barrens. So, tornado actually touched down in the Pine Barrens. Let's see if there's any other news articles about this. Details. All right. So here is here's a report from ABC6, and so these are all the tornadoes here in New Jersey again. Yes. 8 tornadoes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 tornadoes in New Jersey. Incredible to see. Incredible. That 8 tornadoes. That's incredible to see. So let's go to the maps here. We'll go show you Mays Landing here. Show you where this was. I got to look for Landis Avenue here. I'll find Landis Avenue. Show you the area that this touched down in. It's saying Vineland. I don't know about that. Let's Landis Avenue. It says Landis Avenue into May. Oh, okay. It must be by Vineland, I guess. I don't know. I don't know why it's saying. I've got to find Landis Avenue here. Oh, we're in Mays Landing, but I don't know. No, Vineland is nowhere near Mays Landing. Actually, it is. Okay. Here's Landis Avenue. So this is the area. Okay, it is near that. I'm not familiar with that area of Jersey. So this is a very wooded area that it hit here, a very forested area. Fortunately, there weren't many homes there, so that's why there wasn't too much damage. So let's see. It started just east of Lelwyn Avenue, south of U.S. Highway 40 in the Richland section of Buena Vista Township. Let's this is the area right here. So, yeah. It started right over here. This general area. There's Lelwyn. Yep, this is the general area. Luckily, it didn't affect any of these power lines here. There's another power right away here. Really? You don't have any more current street views? Really? All right, but this is Landis Avenue here. I guess they don't have any more current street views. Maybe they do on Lelwyn, but probably not. We'll see. They don't even have a street view for Lelwyn. Let's Google. They're afraid to go to the Pine Barrens, I guess, and update their street views. But this is the general area that it is. Here's one that's updated. You can see it's very piney over here. Very piney. Tornado in the Pine Barrens, pretty much. So there you go. It's just a hot area, and that's how you get tornadoes. So let's go to the radar now that we did that. So we'll close this out, and we'll look at the radar. You can see we've got a few light showers that are over us. It's just a drizzly, kind of gray, dreary kind of day that I was telling you to expect. You can see we have this cold front that's off to the west, but before we get to this, and you can see there are some thunderstorms there. Before we get to this, we're going to have to deal with return of some warmth into the area. as we so looking at your weather map here, you see the slow-moving cold front, and there is severe risk ahead of it. Looking at the Storm Prediction Center, which is here, you can see marginal risk for tornadoes here. Looking at the radar here, and you can see there's some severe storms here along this, and here's some more over here down into the south. But again, nothing as crazy as what we have because of the slow. But there was an early morning tornado confirmed in Missouri. So another tornado confirmed in Missouri, and there were nearly a dozen tornadoes reported Tuesday until Wednesday as massive hailstones. So, and unfortunately, there has been fatalities as well from these as well. So really unfortunate stuff going on with these tornadoes. But anyway, and this is another link from New Jersey's about the tornadoes here. About New Jersey impacts was still bracing for Thursday storms because we have to worry now for tomorrow. And let's get to that aspect of things. So first, let's talk about our current conditions outside right now. And you can see we got the fog advisories. It's dreary out. Temperatures are, in the upper 40s and low 50s, though it certainly feels a little warmer than that here in Mineola. I'd see a 50 there, but I tell you, in this particular section of Mineola, it feels more like 55. 49 at Islip. Dew point's 49. That's the 100% humidity. So you got your fog, and you see here that temperatures have pretty much remained in the pretty chilly and clammy day today with that drizzle around. Not nice to walk around at all. So let's take a look at what our highs were today across the area. We'll just look at the highs. So you can see a lot of these highs were probably as of midnight last night, actually. But you can see where it did heat up. And that's just south. You go into southern Jersey, south of Toms River. You can see where that front was right there. You can see where that front is. You just draw it right here. That stalled front right over here. Just right over Philadelphia almost. Right over the Mullica almost is where that front was. So going back to the current conditions here, if you look at the current conditions, you'll see where it's warmer. So even in Ocean County, it was pretty chilly and raw today. But if you go further south, like this site here, or let's see, pick, where's Millville? Millville is a site that we could use here. It's, well, I can't find Millville. We have Hamilton. So if you look at the day in Hamilton, you'll see it got pretty warm, close to 80 degrees today not Hamilton, but you saw some readings that were close to 80 in the 70s, close to 80 over there. So pretty warm indeed across the area in that particular area, depending on where you were. And that is all that, again, we'll put the highs back up. You'll see how warm it got again. Even Philadelphia itself, though, was in the cool, a little bit of cooler air. You go south, this is where you got highs up near 80 in southwestern Jersey. So we're going to see that heat come northward tomorrow. So let's go look at the models. And this low goes way up into Canada. I mean, way up. That's such a far left track. It's insane. All right, you can see a ridge in the east. This slows the progress of the front down a little bit. And it does make it through, but then it kind of gets stuck on Friday and maybe into Saturday, keeping clouds around. Little low forms along it, too. But that's well to the south, so we should stay, hopefully by then, sunny. All right. Let's go take a look at the HRRR model. And we'll have enough of we have the full 0Z running. That's why I'm a little later. I wanted to make sure it was. So you can see just a few showers developing. And then tomorrow, it's not really showing much until we get toward the evening. And then you start seeing some scattered showers and thunderstorms, but nothing really severe. But it because of the slow movement of the front, it has like lingering rain now into the evening. So instead of having a front move through quickly, it's kind of slow with the front. And that means two things. That means it's going to be harder to get severe weather because you have less movement of the front, and also it means that you're going to be dealing with rain for your evening tomorrow instead of having just a quick storm and it be done. And then after that, it finally starts moving out. So it's definitely a little slow with the front. So let's look at the dew points and wind flow here. So obviously the wind, there's your backdoor, but then the warm front comes through. We get dew points rise, even though it's still a little humid out there. It'll get a lot more humid tomorrow. Southerly winds, but nothing that strong. Could be southwesterly if it's more of a westerly component. It could get quite warm here. And look at that dew point pooling, though, that occurs right in the front. So you see it over Jersey, and that's the area I think that has the best potential of seeing strong to severe thunderstorms with that. We'll look at the Cape in a moment. And then as we get into Friday, the cooler air, the drier air comes in with light westerly winds. You see those dew points drop. All right, so let's look at your temperatures. And you'll see tonight we stay where we are. Temperatures won't drop much. And then, boom, tomorrow it heats up. You can see it first heats up in Jersey in the morning. They're already well in the 70s. And then we see those temperatures 70s near 80. I think near 80 is possible. Look at that. It gets it all over the island, which means southwesterly winds. If it's a southwesterly wind, then that means that we could see temperatures, I think, well into the 70s for a good part of Long Island, I think. Mid to upper 70s, perhaps. Maybe even near 80 on the North Shore. If the South Shore is not showing much of a sea breeze until later on in the day, when the temperatures would drop into the 60s. So even parts of the South Shore of Nassau could get near 70 degrees. It's showing more of that westerly flow. And then you see that sea breeze start to come in as we get toward 4 or 5 o'clock. And then we slowly drop back as that cold front slowly moves in. And then for Friday, we will have highs generally in the 50s behind the front. Let's go to the NAM next, and we'll look a little more at the NAM. There's 0Z NAM. I don't have enough in, so let's go ahead and look at the NAM here and our cold front here. So here's the NAM, and the NAM is also showing like a scattered mess, but you can see that the heaviest stuff definitely seems to develop over Jersey. But the NAM, you see the NAM is a piece that just hangs back, so it just keeps those rain chances around for parts of your evening instead of having a line of storms and getting this over with. It's going to be kind of slow moving, and we'll have to see if some of those storms from Jersey make it up here. But it looks like this would form around that 6, 7 o'clock hour again, like we're watching. So that's when we're going to have to watch. Though it does seem to have a breakaway area of heat of the day convection ahead of the front that would happen in the late afternoon, like 3, 4 o'clock. It's hard to tell what's exactly going to happen here, but it's always hard to modeling a thunderstorm line. It's always hard. But I think the best chances are going to be over New Jersey, I think, as far as tomorrow goes. And let's go to the Storm Prediction Center and look at tomorrow, because it takes us in tomorrow, because there is a marginal risk for severe thunderstorms tomorrow over our area. So it is there. There is a risk, even though we have a slow-moving front. Where it's the hottest, it could be more widespread. And the thing is, if we have more of a westerly flow, then maybe we'll see that severe weather kind of come back into our area. Even though it's a slow-moving front, it's still there. If this front was moving at a normal speed, I would be very concerned about tomorrow. But I'm still somewhat concerned. So let's look at the wind direction on the NAM. I don't see a V, but, let's look at the wind direction. I'll put it with the wind here. Yeah, it's more of a southwesterly flow, so that's one little concerned about it getting quite warm tomorrow and destabilizing the atmosphere. So let's just go over to Ventu Sky here, and we'll look at what the Ventu Sky looks like for tomorrow here, and we'll go to 2 o'clock, and you can see it's got more of that southwesterly flow. So look at this. We could be close to 80 in the middle of the island. And even on the South Shore, pretty warm, mid-70s. It's not until you're right on the South Shore, right at the beach, that you're going to get some relief from this heat. But if more of that westerly flow, that can get us up there. I don't know what the record is, but tomorrow could be record-breaking. No doubt you're going to be above 80 if you're in Jersey. The city, oddly enough, it has the city a little cooler, but I think you're going to crack 80 there, too, as well. So that mid-80s, perhaps, in parts of Jersey. So I don't know what the records are for tomorrow, but they could be broken. That's like record territory. All right, so that's how warm it's going to be. Record-breaking warmth for tomorrow, and it's going to be a brutal day tomorrow. In the middle of the island, they're going to be... And this is the thing with such heat, and, of course, if you throw the humidity into the factor here, the dew points, they're up there. This is using the HRRR model, but this is humid air. All right? And then we'll move this temperature map along until 4 o'clock. You'll see it starts cooling off a little more on the South Shore. middle of the island is still roasting near 80 degrees. It's going to be absolutely brutal in Mineola tomorrow. And, even in Suffolk, you're going to be well into the 70s. I think Islip's going to get to the upper 70s. Maybe not 80, but Farmingdale could. And then you see the sea breeze start to cool off the South Shore. We make it to 6 o'clock, and things have cooled off a little more because now we have the thunderstorms approaching the area, and you can see still a lot of heat ahead of these thunderstorms, especially in Jersey. So now let's move this over to the thunderstorm risk, and this is where things get a little more interesting when we get to look at the Cape here. All right, so this is the Cape. All right, nothing terrible for tomorrow, but there is some Cape. See it over Jersey. It seems to be where it's at its best. I was looking at an earlier run, and it was actually quite more elevated in New Jersey. But it's still some Cape over Long Island. And then we go look at the lifted index. That, again, strong over Jersey, but not so much over Long Island. We have to watch for that sea breeze that always tends to kill these storms. But, again, with the heat inland, these models could be underestimating how bad the storms are. But I think the slow movement yields to probably more of a rainmaker type of deal. If we go to the NAM and look at total accumulated precip, you could see here where these storms hit, and it's got most of them over Jersey. You could see maybe over 1 to 2 inches of rain because of the slow movement of these storms. So these storms could cause some flooding. But it all depends. That could be over us if it's further north. All right. Let's look at the HRRR. Yeah, the HRRR also seems to have, again, where those storms are. And we could really start using, we could actually use some heavy rain on Long Island. There's light rain, no, but heavy rain we could use. But it looks like most of it would be over Jersey. We probably wouldn't see much more than a quarter of an inch of rain on Long Island, if that. So, yeah, we're going to be watching the severe threat for tomorrow. It is there, and we may see severe thunderstorm watch issued. And, again, if it heats up with that sun coming out. Let's go, speaking of that, let's go look at the skies. Go to the RGM for that. Show you what the skies will be like tomorrow. So let me just back this off here. So here's tomorrow. You'll see that sun is going to break out. We'll have some cirrus around, but the sun will be shining until later when we have that front come through. So we're going to watch, and then that front pushes south. This is a good way to visualize it. So you can see it gets kind of hung up, keeps some high clouds around tomorrow. We try to push it to the south on Saturday, and literally it's going to be frustrating because it'll be completely clear just to the north, but we may be stuck in the cirrus and may have to wait until Sunday to clear all this stuff out of here. But let's go to the GFS, and you'll see GFS waits until Sunday to clear us out. So, and actually keeps it around even part of Sunday. So to see how this front is going to be a pain because you got that ridge there that just doesn't want to let the front move to the south. That's going to be something we're going to have to watch for. But we got more of a concern with the severe weather. I'll just show you the dew points and wind flow and temperatures for the weekend. So once you get to Friday, it's over. We're in the dry air. East winds for Saturday, light northeast winds. Because you have that storm that's off to the south, and that's the thing. That'll keep that northeast wind. So it'll keep us near average, I would say. All right. But again, tomorrow is going to be a very warm day. You can see GFS here, I think 80. A good possibility, and we're going to have to watch for severe weather because, again, we have some parameters in place that I'm a little concerned about. Let's go and look at the sounding. You can see there's a lot of saturation in the cloud layer too. So, yeah, a lot of it. So it's in mid-80s for Jersey. It's going to be really crazy to say. Mid-80s. That's insane. That's all I got to say. So that's going to wrap up this weather update. Tomorrow's going to be a brutal one. It's going to be like a summer day, except we're in early April. That's going to be it for this weather update. Take care, and thank you for watching.